Hello, so today's talk is called Why Do Spiritual Seekers Suffer a Lot More Than Other People? And it's a very simple answer. They suffer a lot more than other people because the spiritual seeker is challenging the pleasure-pain momentum. So everybody else in society is running after pleasure and avoiding pain and creating a sense of self out of that. So most people are running around believing that if they get a certain amount of money, they will be happy. If they have children, they will be happy. If they get one up on their neighbor, they will be happy. If they I don't know, become a famous writer, they'll be happy, or a famous artist, they will be happy. Or if they prove their parents wrong, I don't know, whatever the momentum is. And in that, they create a sense of self. So a person is created out of that. So if you're somebody that's running after money, maybe you become very identified with that and you kind of create a character that is very focused on money and getting money and looking rich and showing off and spending money. You know, if you're an artsy type, maybe you create a character around that. And all of this is based on pain and pleasure. And it's like you're getting hits of dopamine, you're getting hit of a drug. Every time you chase after pleasure and get it, you get a hit of a drug and it feels really good. And then you chase it again and you chase it again. It also feels very unsatisfying, just like if you take drugs, it's like good while it lasts, but then you have a down. And what also happens is that you encourage living in a mental, conceptual reality rather than being right here. And the reason that spiritual seekers suffer more is because they are challenging that mechanism. They're challenging the illusion of themselves, and they're challenging the idea. It's kind of like a capitalistic idea that something you can buy or get in the future or do in the future will free you in some way, that you will arrive. You'll finally get the big success that you've been looking for, and you'll arrive. And so the spiritual seeker sees that that's not true and then stops playing that game or attempts to stop playing that game. And it's like a battle that goes on with itself. And you lose your drug. It's like coming off of drugs. So the drug you had of pleasure, you're being weaned off of. So of buying the new thing, doing the new thing, getting a certain amount of attention or something. There is a weaning off it. It's not going to free you in any way. These stories, these daydream, these fantasies about the future aren't going to free you. But in the process of letting that go, it's incredibly painful because you're like breaking up with your lover in your mind. You know, this voice in your mind that's always been saying, get this, get that, do this, do that. And there's like a breaking up happening. And you're no longer getting your hits. We're no longer daydreaming on Friday this will happen. So you're having to really experience what is actually happening. So then once the spiritual seeker begins to break the pain-pleasure dynamic, they then have to face the shadow that they've been running from. And that is ideas and lies that you've been telling yourself and that you've suppressed and held in the body. So as you stop running for pleasure, the pleasure in a way is suppressing that, then you're actually really dealing with what's arising now. If you go even deeper into it, to this, and there then comes the absolute shattering of the self, of who you believe yourself to be. So you start by challenging the pain-pleasure dynamic, then the settling down the shadow, or allowing the shadow to come up. These are really incredibly painful processes. And then deeper and deeper you begin to go, losing all sense of yourself. I mean, it's really down the rabbit hole. Like, what is left at you at the end of it? If you're not somebody that is getting up and doing things for tomorrow, for the future, if you're not saving your eggs for retirement, if you're not this person in time, then who are you? And that is terrifying. Yeah, to be a spiritual seeker, you really have to be prepared to jump off the cliff. Not literally, but metaphorically, like jump into the unknown. If you stop with all your things that have been seemingly making up you and making you feel secure, then what are you? If you're not your money, you're not your children, your family, the country you're born in. If you're not the things you're going to get in the future, if you're not the one that's going to go traveling around the world or go and live in spiritual ashrams, you're not the one that's had all the past things happen to you, good and bad, then what are you right now? Who are you right now? Who are you? If you're not your imaginations, not your thoughts, sensations, not the personal consciousness, if you're not any of that, then what's left? So this is why it's more painful for spiritual seekers, because you're challenging everything. Of course, there's going to be a process of a lot of pain, because you're challenging the status quo. You're stopping when everyone else is carrying on running. Okay, that's the end of the intro. If you want to, this is for people on YouTube, if you want to join these talks, then you can join the Telegram community. You can find out how to do that on my website under the live stream. Okay. Yeah, lots of love to the people on YouTube. Really wish you everything.